portion of the news brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it.
At this past weekend's mini-convention for the Progressive Liberal Party on Andros, Prime Minister Perry Christie took delegates back in time to the vision of the country's first Prime Minister for the island. Quoting that a 1981 speech by Sir Lyndon Pinling on the dream for Andros and its role in the future Bahamas, Prime Minister Christie linked Sir Lyndon's plans to the actions taken today by his government with the development of a new agricultural school, resulting in contracts being signed recently.
The Prime Minister spoke of how the various mini ecosystems of Andros could be exploited for economic benefit in a way that was sustainable and supported by scientific research. This research, he hopes, will come through the partnership of the Bahamas Agriculture and Marine Science Institute, trained Bahamian scientists and researchers, as well as those from a number of prestigious universities, including the University of Miami.
He's talking to a generation who will be born and in school will pick up this speech and read about this dream. With this hope that Perry Christie, who succeeded him, will be able to take a part of it and implement it. This wonderful dream about a 21st century Bahamas and beyond. He says, her rich soils will be the breadbasket of the Bahamas, and her cool waters will soothe many a dry throat. And then he says, as Florida's frost line moves further south, as more and more farmlands in Florida is eaten up by the expansion of our cities and the growth of our population, as land becomes scarcer, the farmlands of Andros will come under economic use for the primary production and of the manufacture of food products, and not only for domestic consumption, but also for export.
Minister of Labor and National Insurance, the Honorable Shane Gibson, shared some sobering news regarding the state of contributions into the NIB fund. According to Minister Gibson, there are more than 17,000 registered self-employed persons listed with NIB. What's shocking is the number of persons who are up to date. Gibson gave this breakdown.
Of the 17,551 self-employed persons registered with NIB, only 26% are paying contributions on time. And on time means that they are paying contributions in full every month. 16% are paying 1 to 30 days late. And 15% are paying 1 to 3 months late. 10% pay 3 to 6 months late. And 9% pay 6 to 9 months late. Another 9% or more pay more than 12 months in the arrears, and 15% have entered installment agreements. That is, they've made a commitment to pay off their arrears in monthly installments, while every month paying on their current contributions. This is not a particularly pretty picture. Just a little over a quarter of registered self-employed persons are in compliance. This means that 3/4 of them are playing Russian roulette with their financial security. When I say this, I refer in particular to NIB's Industrial Benefits Branch. In order for a self-employed person to collect industrial benefits, when they're injured on the job, they have to be no more than 59 days in arrears in order to collect that benefit.
The court reporting unit has been streamlined as government has successfully contracted the 22 stenographers who were previously contracted under LET Consultancy. The group will now be managed by government along with the 18 other reporters employed by the public service. LET's contract was terminated last year by government for alleged breaches. This came in the wake of complaints by some of the stenographers about not being paid. But Attorney General Senator the Honorable Allison Maynard Gibson told ZNS News that government was advised to bring all the stenographers under one unit, which it has since done.
I want to give the highest commendation to the Ministry of the Public Service that within 45 days had all of those persons transferred over to become contracted to the government. We complain frequently about how long it takes to do things in government. I want to assure you that in government there are Bahamian professionals who can and do on a daily basis meet the highest international standards.
Meanwhile, government is moving the stenographers out of the magistrates' court and is assigning them all to the appeals and Supreme Courts. Stenographers will now be assigned to cases in the magistrates' courts upon the advice of the chief magistrate and the Chief Justice. But in order to work as a stenographer in the higher courts, the reporters must obtain a special certification. It's an opportunity government is making available to the entire court reporting unit.
For those who are not certified to become Supreme Court reporters, we are actively engaged with them because we would like to see their success. We want people to look at the Bahamas and recognize that the highest professionals of the highest international standards exist and perform in the Bahamas.
Open for business. Commonwealth Bank's Oaksfield branch welcomed its customers back home today with special gifts during its reopening this morning. The branch was forced to relocate its operations last year, May, after a massive roof fire. It's one of the busiest branches for the bank, and officials say it was crucial to get the location up and running again. Customers Deanne Jones and William Smith were the first to enter the new branch.
It's a nice location. I followed them when they were on Thompson Boulevard. I couldn't wait for them to open this morning. I like the colors and it's really nice.
Feel good to come back home. It's always closed to bed and going to the mall. Yeah, I'm pleased to open it back.
Bank President Ian Jennings was also on hand for the grand occasion. He noted that while other banking institutions have faced hardships and even layoffs, Commonwealth Bank has been able to weather the economic storm.
We've had sustainability because our business model has not been so exposed as the downturn. If you look at the statistics on where the high delinquencies are there in the commercial and mortgage area portfolios, which we have a much smaller percentage, we've focused our costs to be as effective as we can, to be as efficient as we can. And obviously we're Bahamian based. There's no question of relocating anywhere outside the country to try and reduce costs. We're here and we try and do as much as we can with the resources that we have. So we're still looking to try and grow, but to grow with the existing resources.
After nearly 2 months of waiting, the results from the 2013-2014 Junkanoo parades have finally been made official. Chairman of the parade management team, Douglas Hanna, made the announcement this afternoon, outlining the process taken by the various Junkanoo organizations and the Junkanoo Corporation accountants to establish the official results. Now, while the overall winners of the A group competition remain unchanged, with the Valley Boys taking home the first place position in both parades, a few groups did see their standings change when the results were made official. The Shell Saxon Superstars, who unofficially placed second in the New Year's Day Junkanoo Parade, saw their position drop to 4th place, while one family who placed third in the Boxing Day Parade, according to unofficial results, saw their position drop to 4th. Now, Mr. Hanna credited these changes to a combination of both penalties and the recount. It was also noted that with the new judging system, penalties for groups using excessive cloth carry more weight. Now, only up to 9 group members are allowed to wear cloth, and each additional person wearing cloth will result in a 1-point deduction.
Well, we're down to the wire. The Hugh Campbell finals tip off tonight.
Yeah, it should be exciting. We're going to be having a story from there coming up in sports. Stay with us.
This portion of the news was brought to you by McDonald's. McDonald's, I'm loving it. This is your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Jimenita Swain. Airport Councils International recently awarded the Lyndon Pinley International the 2013 Airport Service Quality Award for the best improvement by region, that is the Latin American Caribbean category. The award recognizes extensive improvements made to the airport during a 3-phase $409 million redevelopment at LPIA. President and CEO at Nassau Airport Development Company, Bernice Walkin, received official word of the ACI survey results last week. She said this award shows that our efforts to totally transform LPI into a modern and functional facility are being noticed. LPI also ranked in the top 5 best airports in Latin America and the Caribbean. In other business news, changing the landscape of the Bahamian tourism industry requires the collaboration of a dedicated team of stakeholders. For a project as transformative as Bahama, governmental and tourism industry partners are an important part of the story. Bahama and Ministry of Tourism executives met recently to discuss marketing objectives and strategies for both Bahama and the Bahamas, namely Bahama's potential to attract a greater number of tourists from untapped high-potential markets such as Latin America and China. And in international business news, in a little more than a month's time, Taco Bell will add a breakfast menu. The Associated Press is reporting that it's preparing for an official launch on March 27, with the items such as the AM Crunch Wrap designed to appeal to its fan base of younger men. Officials from the chain say breakfast will be available until 11 a.m., a half hour longer than McDonald's offers its Egg McMuffins. Taco Bell President Brian Nicole said in an interview that they can turn the breakfast conversation into a two-horse race, noting that Taco Bell intends to be a strong number 2 after McDonald's. That was your Royal Fidelity Business News. I'm Jimenita Swain.